For the rest of the week, I think we can plan on just pretty much the same over the next several days. Temperatures will be heading upwards, and we will see the potential of some more showers and thunderstorms, which could lead to some more flash flooding. We'll talk more about that as we go on into the rest of our netcast here. It is Monday evening, as I said, the 11th of August. We appear to be online and functional. Everything looking good from here. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. This is, again, Weather Overtime. This is our online video weather blog, keeping you updated on what's going on across the area when it comes to weather across the region. For now, again, few showers, what are leftover showers out there at this point, but beyond that, there's really just not that much taking place, so we'll keep an eye on that and give you an idea as to what's happening. If you got questions about the weather, wherever you happen to be, if you're in the News 12 viewing area or not, again, coming to you live from Chattanooga, Tennessee, southeast United States, Western Hemisphere, planet Earth. Nice to have you on board for tonight. Taking a look at the radar comparison, we do have again, and this is where we're coming to you from, Chattanooga, Tennessee, southeast Tennessee, western North Carolina, northwest Georgia, and back into northeastern Alabama. That's our viewing area. So if you're here, great. If you're not here in this area, great. Again, if you'd like to check in and show where you're checking in from, please let us know. Would love to know more about that. We've got, again, a few more showers and some dying thunderstorms south and east of Atlanta over toward Augusta, and some light scattered showers in northeastern Georgia all the way over into right about the Georgia-Alabama line. But beyond that, there's really not that much going on. And into tonight, more of these random showers could be a bit of a problem out there, and might even be some rumbles of thunder. But it looks like for right now, any chance of any stronger weather is not happening at this point. A lot of activity going on well back to the west of us, and not that much in the way of severe weather. A severe thunderstorm warning or two in the panhandle of Texas, mostly flash flood warnings from around Nevada, Missouri, down to about Norman, Oklahoma, and heading into and around the area of Fort Smith, Arkansas. Got a decent amount of rain and thunderstorms taking place there. But here in Chattanooga, very little to talk about for right now. And again, hopefully it stays that way into the course of the rest of the evening. Severe weather is just not in the program for the next couple of days, so definitely some good news on that. Outdoor activities into tomorrow, warm and humid once again, with chances of showers and thunderstorms possible. Because of those clouds and showers and thunderstorms, the UV index may be a little bit lower, but there will be more chances of rain and thunderstorms out there, so please keep that in mind if you're going to be doing anything outdoors into not only Monday, but for the next several days as well. That is going to be a bit of a concern out there for anybody who's going to be out and about in the next day or two. Taking a look outdoors right now, the News 12 studios, well, almost able to see across Lookout Mountain, looking west across Broad Street. Let's see if we get a better view from downtown. Farther away, but still able to see some of Lookout Mountain off in the distance. Downtown Chattanooga from the Bailey's Heating and Air camera on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network, which you can see all of our cameras available at wdef.com/weather if you'd like to tune in for that. Chattanooga Red Wolf Stadium, 2475 Junction. Everything moving along very well here. Usually this is a parking lot because we do have a lot of traffic being backed up thanks to the amount of construction work that is going on just west of this camera, but nothing showing up at this point. So again, so far looking pretty quiet for the time being, and hopefully again it stays that way for later on tonight. Temperatures nearing the top of the hour. We are back into the mid to lower 80s across much of the region, and again that is pretty warm for this time of the year. Hopefully again going to be kind of settling things down on the temperatures for just a little bit, but otherwise not doing entirely too terrible. Would be nice to have some autumn cool in here. That has not happened, and we're still about a month and a half, give or take, a month and 10 days away from the official start of autumn, so we're rapidly running out of summertime, believe it or not. So that is, again, something we're going to be watching carefully as those seasons begin to change. Temperatures back into the 70s and 80s for the most part across much of the region for tonight. So we do have, again, some very warm conditions out there. I'm going to be staying on the warm side throughout the course of the rest of the next probably several days as things continue to be rather toasty for this time of the year, and no question about that anytime soon. So any type of cooler weather anytime soon, that is. Thanking News 12 viewer and or pupper Willie. Didn't see who was which, but apparently Willie is the pupper, and a dog selfie from here sporting his Jets jersey. Fun piece of trivia, my high school football coach, Frank Walton, his brother was Joe Walton, the head coach of the Jets for a few years. So nice to be able to have that right there. 1% List Scenic City, our sponsor for the dog walking forecast. Submit your pupper pictures. If I could talk properly on a Monday, that would help at wdef.com/dogwalk. Not much, again, tonight happening. We've got some very mild conditions downtown. Tennessee Aquarium web camera available at tnaqua.org. And not too many folks out and about for late Monday evening, so we'll be seeing even quieter conditions over the next couple of hours. It looks like minor traffic downtown, but that's about it. Not that much going on. Winds generally coming in from the east to the west, and that is doing a good job of, again, supplying a lot of warm, moist air, thanks to low pressure and high pressure working together to scoot this Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico moisture out this direction. We've got numerous systems all the way back up over the northern plain states, the Canadian Rockies, and into around coming close to the Great Lakes. But because of all this high pressure sitting over here, excuse me, little, if anything, is going to be making its way toward us. So we don't have any big changes coming up. We'll talk about that storm system over the Gulf of Mexico coming up here in just a second, so stay tuned for that. A lot of activity in the tropics over the last couple of days. Lows tonight in the high 60s to the lower to mid 70s. High temperatures tomorrow, high 80s to right about 90 degrees. And the temperatures over the next several days, we are looking again at the temperatures starting to increase from the west, heading our way. Warmer, yes. Going toward hot, yes, but not looking at anything in the way of dangerously hot weather. Matter of fact, we don't have, except for the 10% of the western United States, showing again little, if anything, going on close to us. Some heat advisories for New England. Now that you don't see too often, and when it's that roasty, that is some very oppressive conditions for that area of the country. I was in Kennebunkport back in 2010, and it got up to something like 90 degrees, and people were having a hard time dealing with that amount of heat out there, not surprisingly. Excuse me. But back to the west, that's the really hot weather, but nothing going on for us. That's the important thing for now. Now, in the next couple of days, we may be looking at an increase in the possibility of precipitation. We may see again the possibility of some flash flooding out there. We're going to be watching that again with a lot of interest into the next few days, so definitely want to stay tuned again for more on that. For tonight and into the next couple of days, taking a look at our 7-day forecast, Island Cove Marina and Resort, waters of Lake Chickamauga, just to the west of Highway 58 and Hunter Road interchange. Beautiful conditions for right now. Next couple of days, mid to upper 80s, and that's the way it stays for right now. But then we get into the next several days after that, and we'll be back. Normal at this time of the year is about 90 degrees, so below to at normal leading up to the end of the week, and just above normal after that. Pardon me. This again will show the possibility that we are going to be looking at not too much in the way of cooler weather anytime soon. It would be nice, but just not happening for right now. And then on the other side of this forecast, going into late August, temperatures seem to be dropping a little bit back to below normal. I would not call the high 80s cooler by any stretch of the imagination, but again, we'll be watching to see if we get a bit of relief from the heat out there. Also, every single day, more chances of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow and Wednesday, and then just random chances after that all the way throughout the rest of the next several days. So we do see, again, some potential for less heat, but I'm not going to call it cooler. That's definitely the case for right now. Let's take a look at the tropics, which are getting decently active at this point. Back to the Gulf of Mexico first. There is a disturbance out this direction, but as of right now, the National Hurricane Center is not giving this system much hope for any development. The latest update at 8 o'clock keeps this at 0%. So this could ruin a few beach vacations from around the northeast corner of the Gulf all the way over to the Delta, but it does not look like a major threat. Now, on the other hand, as we do that ramp up to the midpoint of hurricane season, which happens on September 10th. That is where we're seeing some interesting stuff going on. Two minor systems out into the northwestern Atlantic. Both of these systems, again, have a 10% chance of development, so there's really not that much going on here. But then there's this. Tropical Storm Erin has formed in the course of the last couple of days, and this particular system, again, well out into the eastern Atlantic, so it's got a long way to go before it threatens any land surfaces, and it is expected, number one, to kind of follow this course. This spaghetti model, so named because there are numerous different models in here, so they look like spaghetti noodles on a plate. This is expected to go over a fairly conducive area for development, which means this could become a Category 3 or higher system in the next several days. So this, for now, the conventional weather wisdom is going to head to the west-northwest. Could this be a threat for the Gulf or the eastern United States? Maybe, but as of right now, again, it looks like some of the models are starting to turn a little farther, right-hand turn back to the north. So no warnings, no watches for this just yet, but it does mean that we are going to have to, again, watch this carefully, because this is a sign that the Atlantic is waking up, and we do need to, again, be ready to go. For anything involving travel to the beach, to the ocean, you want to be weather aware. You don't want to be heading, if this system were to follow the general models and head toward Florida, you want to think about a vacation here to the Bahamas, anywhere around Hispaniola, Jamaica, anything like that. You don't want to be heading into an area where everybody else is going to have to get back out of again if there's an evacuation order issued, if this becomes a major threat. So that, again, is something to consider here. We'll continue to watch Erin. Again, it doesn't look like much for right now, but it does bear watching. So again, please keep it tuned to News 12 on there. Now, the other thing that we're watching is, again, off of the Sahel and north into parts of the areas around Africa, there is a ton of dust come from the Sahara, and that can both dry out the atmosphere and drop the potential of anything involving development of hurricanes. But if those hurricanes move through in a particular time and space to where they're not affected by this, then it's possible that we could see these systems in a pocket of warm, moist air develop quickly. Now, there's not only that, but there's also this climate change driven hotter temperatures of the ocean. Anything above 80 degrees is rocket fuel for these storms. And as you can see, from the Atlantic to the Caribbean to the Gulf, even around the west coast of Florida, the eastern Gulf, temperatures right off the coast here in those darker red areas are nearing or over 90 degrees. That is where these systems can draw in that warm, moist, unstable air and can really cause problems with what is called RI, rapid intensification. So it's possible that any system that moves over waters like this will get a boost from the ocean heat. The ocean is trying to absorb as much of the heat from the air above it that humans are causing to get gathered in by the extra carbon dioxide from our fossil fuel powered societies. That is in turn warming the air. That is in turn warming the waters of the oceans, which is in turn driving stronger, more unpredictable weather, which is in turn causing a lot of problems with heat all around the world, causing some places in the next couple of decades to possibly become unlivable. So this right here, while this looks like great bath water to go out and do something again at the beach, you want to make certain that you are doing your best to pay attention to what is going on with the weather, because as of right now, this is not a good situation. It hasn't been a good situation for decades, and it's a good possibility that we will continue to see more problems with this type of water temperature and the amount of energy that is out into parts of the tropics. So please make certain you consider what's going on out there when you consider your beach vacation. Thanks a lot to all of our viewers for sending in the pictures and for our Pick the Pick contest from last week. Congratulations to News 12 viewer Anthony Wheeler. His picture of a sunrise or sunset, I'm not too sure which one it was, from around the area of around Lookout Valley just west of Chattanooga. So congratulations, Mr. Wheeler. You picked up 81% of the vote for your particular picture. And thanks a lot to everybody again for sending in your pictures there. Great to have everybody participate in that. Speaking of which, our Clay Kistner paving and seal coating weather window picture of the day. Nice Smaug dragon-shaped cloud from Kathy Horvath in Jasper. Thanks very much for our picture of the day. And again, if you've got pictures out there, please send them in. We'd love to see what you're seeing. So go ahead and email them to us, drop them to social media, or again, go to Weather Window headquarters at wdef.com/photos. We'd love to see what you are seeing out there as well. Now, getting into a little bit of astronomy, the good news is that this is the eve of one of the biggest meteor showers of the year. The Perseids will peak tomorrow night, Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's great news. Again, if on a clear night with a good stream of cometary debris as the Earth plows through that, we could see as many as 100 meteors per hour. That's 1.5 roughly every minute or so. That's some pretty good odds. The problem we're running into is this year for us, as we see more moisture out there, it looks like, again, tomorrow night, we're going to be seeing showers and thunderstorms Tuesday evening, going all the way through overnight into Wednesday morning, and that, unfortunately, is not good news for meteor viewing. Now, if everything works, this is really cool. There is the two bits of good news. Number one, according to some of the websites we've been taking a look at, the good news is that for this weekend, this one is from timeanddate.com. This is really unique here because it says because of the weather being the way it is, it's a good possibility we may not be able to see much Tuesday night into Wednesday. But more convenient is the weekend upcoming, the 16th and 17th, the moon will have dropped a third quarter phase. It will rise later, and it'll allow for darker evening skies. So we might be able to see more of the Perseid meteors as they fade away coming up this weekend. Now, also, this is really cool to take a look at if you've never seen this before. And I don't know if the audio is coming through or not. You might hear sort of a slight hiss. What you're looking at is from the website called livemeteors.com. This is really neat to take a look at because what you're looking at is the reception of a radio wave being beamed from one site, bouncing off the ionosphere and down to the ground again. We look for tiny little signals. They're a little stronger than this from time to time. That might be one possibly right there that we're seeing, but that could be another sidebar of a transmission at some point. You can listen to this. You can hear as a radio wave is beamed into the atmosphere, goes up and comes back down again. If a meteor slices through that, it ionizes the gas in the atmosphere, and it causes the radio waves to shift. And that does a very good job of causing a ghostly echo or a ping. That right there probably could have been a very short-lived meteors striking the Earth's atmosphere, and you would hear sort of a kind of a ghostly whistle, like a going through your speakers. So even if you can't see the meteors with your own eyes, you can listen to them using radio astronomy. This is really cool to take a look at. Again, this is Live Meteors. If you'd like to take a look again, they have a website which is not working too well right now, but you can see some of the archived data from some of the time frames earlier tonight and see what they were hearing out there. So a good opportunity again to listen to the meteors even if you can't see them. So again, please take a look at Live Meteors if you'd like to see more information about the Perseid meteor shower coming up there. All right, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Things are pretty quiet overall for this evening, so there's really just not that much going on. So fortunately, we don't have that much going on. Tomorrow morning, News 12's Chip Chapman will be taking the morning off for a bit, so please, if you haven't already, welcome our new weather anchor, Mr. Russell Stroud. He will be filling in for Mr. Chip tomorrow morning, and you can catch him nightly on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday nights at 11 o'clock if you'd like to tune in with co-anchor Lillian Yee. Great opportunity to see Mr. Russell in action again this weekend, but catch Mr. Russell bright and early on Tuesday morning, starting on the morning show. So again, stay tuned for more information there. Questions, concerns, ideas, email me at aonek@wdef.com. Would love to hear from you. No matter where you are, in or out of the viewing area, please stop by and say hi and give us, if there's something you want to see on here, please give us an idea. We can't do this in a vacuum, so if there's something you'd like to take a look at, we would love to be able to make this your stopover for, again, a good weather conversation. So if you've got something, please let us know. We'd be glad to help out on that. Going to go ahead and send it back to your regular programming for Monday evening. Again, check out our website for more details at wdef.com/weather. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Thanks for joining us for Monday evening's Weather Overtime, and we'll have more coming up later on News 12 on air and online. And again, Russell Stroud, 5 a.m. on Tuesday for News 12 this morning.